In Bayville, on a sunny day, a cheerful rabbit named Benny was hopping around with a basket, humming a tune. Benny loved carrots more than anything and took great care of his garden, watering his prized vegetables every day. But when he approached his garden that day, something was terribly wrong and all of his carrots were gone. Benny's eyes widened in disbelief as he whispered to himself, "Where did all my carrots go?" Just yesterday, his garden had been full of plump juicy carrots, but now there was nothing left except a strange trail of carrot tops leading into the deep dark forest bordering Bayville. With his heart pounding, Benny made a decision. He was going to find his carrots, no matter where the trail led. Determined, he hopped toward the forest. The deeper Benny went, the darker the forest became, and strange sounds echoed around him, but Benny pressed on, determined to solve the mystery of his missing carrots. As Benny ventured deeper, he encountered two familiar faces. Nibbles, a mischievous squirrel, and Hoot, a wise old owl. "Dot, are you sure you want to go in there?" Nibbles asked with a hint of mischief. "The forest is full of surprises," Hoot nodded wisely, adding, "Trust your heart, Benny, but be prepared for anything." With his friends by his side, Benny felt more confident than together. The trio followed the trail, though the forest grew darker and more ominous with each step. Shadows danced between the trees, and strange sounds filled the air. Benny's heart raced but he refused to turn back. After what felt like hours, Benny and his friends finally emerged into a clearing. There in the center stood the most magnificent carrot Benny had ever seen, a giant, glittering carrot that seemed to glow with a magical light. Benny's jaw dropped enough. The golden carrot, he gasped, scarcely believing his eyes. "It's real." But just as Benny reached out to touch the magnificent vegetable, disaster struck. The giant net suddenly descended, trapping Benny beneath it. Out from the shadows stepped a sneaky fox named Rex. Grinning slyly, "Gotcha," Rex crowed smugly. "I knew you'd indeed follow the trail. NOWTHIS golden carrot is mine." Benny's heart sank in realizing he had walked right into a trap, but he quickly shook off his fear and began to think. Benny wasn't just a lover of carrots, he was clever too. He whispered urgently to Nibbles and Hoot, who nodded in understanding. Nibbles, ever the entertainer, leapt into action, dancing and juggling acorns to draw Rex's attention. The fox, unable to resist the good show, watched with amusement. Meanwhile, Hoot silently flew overhead and used his powerful wings to lift the net just enough for Benny to slip out. Quick as a flash, Benny grabbed a nearby stick and poked the net, causing it to collapse right on top of Rex. "Hey, let me out!" Rex shouted, struggling beneath the heavy net. Benny smiled triumphantly. "Sorry, Rex," he said kindly but firmly, "but you can take what doesn't belong to you." With Rex subdued, Benny and his friends rode the enormous golden carrot back to Bayville. The whole town gathered to marvel at the treasure, and Benny was hailed as a hero. The villagers cheered, and soon everyone was enjoying a grand feast of carrots. But even after everything, Benny didn't hold a grudge against Rex. When the fox sheepishly apologized, Benny smiled and handed him a carrot. "Everyone deserves a second chance," Benny said warmly. Rex, grateful, nodded out. "Yeah, I guess you did really right, thanks Benny." As the sun set over Bayville, the animals sat together, laughing and sharing the golden carrot. Benny had not only found his carrots, but also made a new friend in Rex. In Bayville, where kindness and cleverness were always rewarded, this was just the beginning of more adventures for Benny and his friends.